Welcome to the Bitcoin Boomer Show. Here's your host, the Bitcoin Boomer himself, Gary Leland.
And welcome to the Bitcoin Boomer Show. I'm your host, Gary Leland. This show is produced in Arlington, Texas at the BizTalk TV studios. And I do want to thank our great producer, Stephanie, for all the work she does. Today's guest is Mel Sands, who's going to tell us about free Bitcoin. And Stephanie, you handle setting up everything, and you talk to Mel. So what do you think about this episode, or that you're going to find interesting?
So I'm excited because you turned me on to Fold app and Lolly and to collect free sats. So I'm curious what else is out there and what else I can do to get more free, stack those sats, as we say.
We got you saying it, stack those sats. I think it's the first time I've heard you say that. So
I'll say it more.
We're moving you in the right direction there.
Those sats.
I'm curious to see. I need to look up and see how many sats I have stacked.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
My Fold says it's 48,441 sats right now for me.
Well,
that's like since end of 22. I started with.
And I think she's going to give some tips on how to increase the speed at which you're stacking those. So I can't wait to find that out. But this show, just to let everybody know, our goal in this show is just to educate you about Bitcoin. That's it. We're not trying to sell you any Bitcoin or tell you where the place to get Bitcoin. It's to educate you about Bitcoin. If you know anyone else you think might be interested in Bitcoin, please share this show with them. By watching this show, if you watch it long enough, one day you're going to realize that you know a lot about Bitcoin. I mean, we bring some of the top people in the world on about Bitcoin. It's not like, we're just sitting in the basement here reading comic books. We really bring great information to you. So do subscribe to the show, number one. Share this show with anyone you think is interested. And like I said before, you know it, you will be an expert in Bitcoin. And you'll probably start buying it. So we're going to backdoor you there, kind of trick you into becoming a Bitcoiner there. But that's our goal. But today we have Mel Sands. Mel Sands is an expert on getting free Bitcoin. I'm curious to see how much Bitcoin she has gotten. I'm sure that she's outdone me, and I'm sure I have quite a bit. And I'm sure she makes mine look like nothing. So Stephanie, she's going to make yours look like nothing at all. So be prepared for that. But everybody can get free Bitcoin and reach Mel's status of free Bitcoin. We'll be right back after this break with Mel Sands, who gets more free Bitcoin than anyone I know. Be right back. And welcome back to the Bitcoin Boomer Show. As I always say, our goal here is just to educate you about Bitcoin. I'm not selling you Bitcoin. I don't have any Bitcoin I want to sell you. But I do want to teach you about Bitcoin because I think Bitcoin is going to be a world-changing item. It's a new asset class. It's just not like a stock. People think it's an asset class. Now, on today's show, we have one of my favorite Bitcoiners, Mel Sands, on. She's been here before, and she's going to teach us how to get the best kind of Bitcoin that there is, free Bitcoin. So let's bring Mel on the show. Mel, wouldn't you agree? That's the best Bitcoin is free Bitcoin.
Free sats are the best.
Free sats are the best. Mel, I know you've been on the show before, but for anyone who may not have seen that episode, can you give us just a real quick, short bio, real quick?
Sure. In 2017, somebody asked me if I had heard about Bitcoin. And I said, I think I've got some of that. And I went, and in 2015, I had heard about it. It was internet money, they called it. And because I sell online, I thought this makes sense, especially if you're crossing borders. So I bought $100 worth. When I was reminded in 2017, I went and found the $100, and it was worth $4,700. And for me, that was absolutely stunning. So I dug in because I wanted to know, why is it doing this? Is it going to keep doing this? What is this about? And here I am today with you.
With me.
Because I'm in.
Yeah, so that's a pretty nice story there. And that's story a lot of people who are into Bitcoin and have been into Bitcoin for any length of time can share. And that's the story that are the, I guess, thing people really think about. Not everybody, but a lot of people think about and are hoping will happen to them is that they'll put this money in and it'll turn into Bitcoin. The shame is that a lot of them don't dig in and find out what Bitcoin is. And then when we have an event like we had Monday, you know, where the market collapsed and Bitcoin followed it, the people who bought Bitcoin Friday saw it drop 20% and sold it. And then Tuesday, it's back up and they lost their money. You know, right. So I always advise people to do their research.
If they sold it.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. But they're new. They've not seen it happen. Someone like you and me, we've seen that drop so many times that, you know, we don't even think about it. My wife still does. She said she had a hard time sleeping Monday night. I had no problem at all. You know, and now rightly so. Now it's on the track back to where it was, and usually it goes higher than that. But, you know, every time Bitcoin is going from one all-time high to another, or they're in a 4-year cycle, you're going to have 4 or 5 of these giant drops, and people just need to be aware of that. But this show is about free Bitcoin, so I'm going to kind of let you take the lead here on it, because maybe you can teach me some new ways to make some free Bitcoin, because like I said, free Bitcoin is the best. So Mel, start the explanation on how we get free Bitcoin.
Okay. So on my Twitter handle, to start, is pinned at the top Mel's free Sats guide. And I have spent I've spent some hours in the past couple of days looking at everything and seeing how things are doing on them. So I've got some updates, and I'll make sure that these updates are reflected on my Twitter handle and pinned at the top. So the first one I want to talk about has been my most consistent free Bitcoin source, and that is the Fold app. So the Fold app has a debit card called the Fold card. When you used this, you would get free sats for whatever purchases you've made. You got like 1.5% sats back. And depending on how much you spent, you got to like so many spins on the free spinning wheel, which I loved the free spinning wheel.
You say that loved is like you used to, like you don't anymore.
Pretty much gone.
Well,
it is pretty much gone.
I used it this morning. It's still there. And by the
You
way,
get to once a day for fun.
You get
don't
what?
Get extra spins anymore.
Okay. The bonus things are gone. Okay, because
Yep.
I was confused. And before we go into this, let me say to everybody, when Mel's telling you about this, pay attention on this Fold stuff, because I just looked mine up. I've earned 3,169,281 sats on this since I've started spinning the Fold wheel. And how much is that approximately, you think? A million?
It's a ton. It's like, let's see, $550 per million.
So I've gotten $1,500 worth of free Bitcoin, basically.
Yep.
So she's telling the truth. She's definitely telling the truth here is what I'm trying to say.
How much has the price gone up since then, too?
Yeah. For sure.
So
but go back.
Definitely worth it.
Well, go back to it. I'm sorry I interrupted, but I did want to find out what you were talking about with the wheel. And well, I was surprised when I saw how many sats I had earned for free.
Yeah, I'm going to reveal how many sats I've earned when I'm done, but it's a lot. But there's some things that have changed, and these are things I'm also getting used to, but they're things that if you don't do them, I mean, there's no reason not to. Okay, so the Fold app and the Fold card, you can now use it as a bank account. So there's a routing and an account number. You will get free sats for having an automatic, like your paycheck deposited in there. You can also use your routing and account number to pay bills. So if you use that to pay your electric bill, you're going to get 1.5% back for it. If so you can automatically hook up all your stuff. You can pay your mortgage, you could pay your rent, as long as it can be paid with a bank, an ACH, like routing and account number thing, you're going to get free Bitcoin for it. Now you're paying that every month anyway. Why wouldn't you? Right? I mean, it's a lot. So that's kind of new. And that's one of the new things that they have just brought out in the past few months. And because I'm self-employed, I don't have that every Thursday paycheck thing. But it's fully worth doing if you do. Now, the other cool thing that they've added is every time you make a deposit, you can decide to buy a certain amount of Bitcoin with that. So let's say I deposit $500 into my Fold account. They'll take 25% of it, or however much you wish, and turn it into Bitcoin immediately. So I have a cash balance like in the front of the app, and then in the back, I have, let me pull that up. I have my Bitcoin stash. So like right now in my Bitcoin stash, I have 600,000, around 600,000 sats, which is about $350. Now, let's say I need to buy something and I don't have the cash. I can send this. They will take the Bitcoin, make it into fiat immediately so that I can do it. But I can keep my Bitcoin in there until then. Now, I am pretty much on a full Bitcoin standard. And if you are, you're going to love this because you can keep your Bitcoin in there. And like when I'm watching things drop the other day, I'm like, ooh, $10. I'll buy another $10. So it's free if you're a full premium member, which is, I want to say $9.99 a month. And it's absolutely worth it. So the other new thing is roundups. So whenever you use your debit card, whatever you spend, they'll take the excess, round it up to the next dollar and put that into Bitcoin for you. You can also now have it auto stack, like set up reoccurring buys for you. So this app is starting to work as a full-on bank account. And it's a bank account that's paying, that you're able to hold your Bitcoin in and hold fiat in and pay all your bills. So, but here's the new thing with the debit card. You want to use it as a credit card. So when you put your debit, like let's say you go to the grocery store and you swipe the card and you, the number comes, put your number in for your debit card. You want to treat that card as a credit card. You'll get more back for that than you will if it's a debit card. Okay. Because it costs them more.
I'm going to need you to explain me that in more detail, but we are coming up on a hard break here. So let's go to that hard break. Let's have a commercial word from our sponsor, and then we'll be right back to continue with the Fold debit card, which, like I said, I personally use and have made a lot of sets myself. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Bitcoin Boomer Show. I'm your host, Gary Leland. And before we continue with our guest and finding out about how to get free Bitcoin, I do want to ask you to do me a favor. If you can share this show with a friend. You probably know someone who will be interested in Bitcoin, who may find it interesting, whatever. Share this show with them and do them a favor. As I told you earlier, we're not selling anything here, really. We just want to educate people on Bitcoin. And now bring back Mel, and let's continue with the Fold card and getting free sets.
So I'm pretty much a credit-free person. I don't use credit. I use a debit. And what has changed about the Fold card is when you use it as a debit card, so you have to, like you swipe it, and then you've got to put a PIN number in, right? If it's a debit card. And if you do that, you may make 0 Bitcoin on the transaction is what I've noticed. So you want to take that card and not use the PIN number and have them run it as a credit card. Most places can make that happen. So like if you're getting gas, don't answer the question that says debit. Just don't do it. So like I'll use the what do you call it when you lay it up there and it kind of connects. And I don't put it into the facilitate thing of the card. I'll usually just kind of put it along that electronic thing and it treats it as a credit card. And because of that, I will get Bitcoin back for it. So that's one of the new things. So treat your Fold card like a debit card. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see them come out with a credit card.
Treat it like like a debit card or like a credit card?
Credit card.
Okay, you said debit card. I just want to
Right
make sure.
now, the Fold card is a debit card.
Right.
With a PIN number.
Right.
When you spend, you treat this as a credit card. Pretend it is not a debit card.
Right.
So if someone says it's a debit or a credit, say credit.
So on the machine, when I stick my card in the machine, it asks me if debit or credit. I should click credit.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Correct. Now, if it's weird, ask the person, like, how do I just do it? Sometimes it's a matter of just hitting an X or something to make it work as a credit card. Okay. And it's become now a new important thing. And I'm paying attention to it because I wasn't paying attention to it for a bit. I went back to look and I went, oh, what's going on here? And I happened to just notice on Fold's Twitter account the other day, they were talking about it. And I'm like, wait, clarify that for me. And I'm like, okie dokie. So there's that. Now, the other thing is if you are spending Bitcoin anywhere, if you're spending fiat anywhere, like Amazon, for example, which for me and my business, we've done so much Amazon shopping. You buy your gift card on the Fold app. You get 2.5% back just for buying a gift card that you can put on your Amazon balance and use.
Yeah, you can upload, you could buy, for instance, a $500 gift card and upload the whole card. It's not like you have to do it every time. And then when you buy something, it pulls it out of your gift card.
Yes. And that is a really nice bonus because some don't work that way.
Yeah, that's really nice. You don't have to screw with it over and over and over, just once in a while.
And so, like, I've noticed they add new gift cards all the time. I want to say I saw Southwest in here. So, like, if you fly Southwest, why wouldn't you get a gift card to pay for your flights and get a hunk of Bitcoin back for it? There's Lowe's, Kroger. There are Krispy Kreme donuts, Macy's. So if you know you're going to buy something, you want to go through these gift cards first and make sure that you see it here and you buy the gift card. Now, if you don't see it here, we'll go to another of our sources when I'm done with Fold that also does gift cards. So at this point, like, I fly American Airlines. At the moment, the other source, they always had American Airline gift cards. So I would buy my gift card and use it for flights. But American kind of comes and goes. But there are I'll tell you about that other source in a few. So anyway, you will want to attempt to use a gift card if you can to pay for something. And then there are, now there are category boosts. So if you're, say, buying something for your lawn and garden, you'll get 1.5% back for that. Restaurants and bars are 1.5% back. Any travel. So here's the opportunity to stack. So traveling, you're going to get 1.5% back. And then they also have merchant boosts. So like Expedia is a merchant boost right now. I'm assuming that you can stack that. So you'll get, if you bought your travel on Expedia, you would get 4.5% back. Okay. So, and this changes all the time. Like I noticed, I paid for Netflix and that was one of their merchant boosts. And this was a couple months ago and I got like 13% or something. I'm like, wow. So these change up. You'll want to kind of keep an eye on them. Any bill pay is 0.5 Bitcoin, which doesn't seem like a lot unless you are paying your rent, which say like your rent is $2,000. I'll take 0.5% back for that. Won't you? It's free Bitcoin. So it's just learning and understanding all of the ins and outs of it. Your bank, this is like a bank account. Your cash balance here is FDIC insured. There's no reason to use Chase Bank if you use the Fold card. And Fold is getting ready to go public. And I think that's great. So at first, I just did everything in my power. And the spinning wheel was my favorite part. Okay. You used to be able to get to spin that wheel like 20 times a day. I wanted to use my card just to spin the wheel. So they've kind of cut that out. You get one spin a day now just for fun. But if you refer other people to get a Fold account, you'll get some of their rewards. So there's all kinds of ways to stack these. And all right, Gary, I'm going to ask you to guess how many Bitcoin, how many Satoshis do you think I have stacked?
Well, since I had like 2 million, I think, and you didn't think much of that, or a million and something, you didn't seem too impressed with that. I'm going to have to get, and I know you get tunnel focused on this stuff, and you like to make it a game to see how well you can do, and you can win and have more than anyone. I've been in that situation with you where we were going after something, and you blew me away. But we ended up 1 and 2, I think. So I'm going to say 10 million sats.
Good guess.
Well,
14 million.
Oh my gosh.
300,024 sats.
So that's like $6,000 or something.
Yeah.
A free Bitcoin.
Right.
Which, if Bitcoin does what we think it's going to do in 10 years, that's going to be $60,000 that you get for free. Because I know you're like me, you're just holding on to this. You aren't like spending.
I'm doing my best to push it right into the cold storage. And so I'll tell you, according to, thank you, Fold, for giving me these nice stats, Bitcoin has increased 648% since you joined Fold. That's a $6,978 increase in the value of your lifetime rewards in just 56 months. Get on it, people. Get your free Bitcoin, because there will come a day that one Satoshi is going to be worth $1. And then just, you'll realize, and that may not happen, I don't know, but it's going to be worth a lot more than it is now. And I don't know, Gary, you probably know about this better than I do, but I know there used to be fountains where you could go every day and like get 5 free Bitcoin. Today, it's all about sats.
Yes, and you could get like a bunch of Bitcoin. It wasn't like you got like sats. You actually got whole Bitcoins that are worth $60,000 now.
Not a whole Satoshi.
Okay, we're going to have to go to a hard break, but we'll be right back with some more on free Bitcoin, which is the best Bitcoin. See you in a minute. Welcome back to the show. We're not even going to talk. We're going straight to Mel because I want to find out about getting some more Bitcoin. I actually learned something there because, for instance, I have a draft that comes out every month for $700. Every month, like clockwork, it comes, I have to pay this. So it's just, then they're automatic. So I just need to start using Fold for all my expenses. But, I am a credit card person. I love credit cards. I travel everywhere in the world and stay in top class hotels for free because I do so much on my credit card. But there are things, like I said, this reoccurring bill I pay, that I'm not. Yeah, so I need to do that.
You can pay your credit card bill with this.
Oh, it's a great idea. Then I'm kind of double dipping there, right? I'm getting the mileage points and hotel points, and I'm getting free Bitcoin to pay it. Yeah. So what's the next thing we're going on to?
Okay, so I want to tell you that my list I've got 11 things on it.
Well, you only have 2 segments left, so you're going to have to decide.
I know. So I want to run through. Okay, Lolly, Lolli. It's not your biggest source, but there's a little treasure chest you click on every day, and you might get 50 to 100 sats. Okay,
I've gotten 100.
Adds up over time.
I've gotten $100 worth of Bitcoin on there before, just pressing that button. Yeah. I think it was $95 or something. It does pay. It does pay up to a higher level. That's only once has that happened.
Well, I do. You can connect your credit cards to Lolli, and there are things you can activate on the website to like one thing that I will say is that they used to have a Costco bonus, and big Costco shoppers here. And 2% back in sats was huge, but that is now gone. So there are other offers. So it takes a little time to go through and see if you use enough of these places, it's worth doing. Okay. So let's see, I'm going to just real quick go on, and then I want to just focus on the important ones. Choice app. This is something I picked up at Bitcoin 2022, I think. And it is you can put your Bitcoin into a Roth IRA, but there's a Plinko style game that you can drop that chip and you can win up to 500 sats a day. I do that every single day. Then we've got Thunder Games. So if you are a Candy Crush person or you like to play games on your phone, you can actually play solitaire. And there's like a Tetris type game called Tetro Tiles, and you get free sats out of it. So if you like to do something to keep your mind busy, sometimes you may as well do the one that will give you back a few free sats. Then Smiles or S-Miles. You have this on your phone and you will earn for walking. And there's a daily spinny spin wheel. Not huge payouts, but free sats are free sats. Next, Slice. And this is one you may not know about, Gary. Slice is a browser. You add it to Chrome, activate it. It opens as a browser page and you use it and earn sats. Again, it's not huge sats, but it's not annoying. It doesn't have anything that like you're not already used to. Like it doesn't add anything to your day or screen or anything that is annoying. And the other thing about this that's interesting is if you are advertising something. So you've got BitBlock Boom. Every single person using Slice as a browser is a Bitcoiner. So you can totally target your audience by advertising on Slice. All right. Then another bonus here is you can push your rewards right to BitRefill, which is another gift card company. Now, let's see. Okay, so I went through those real quick. Here are my last two most important Bitcoin sources. Number one is the Bitcoin Company. This is another gift card place that, like, I fly American Airlines. So this is normally where I get my American Airlines gift cards. I usually stay at Marriott. I get Marriott gift cards here, and you get like today I looked 3.91% back in sats. So if you're spending $1,000 on a hotel bill for something, take that 3.1, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a lot. It's a lot. So I don't buy anything without checking to see if there is a gift card on Fold, the Bitcoin Company, and now I haven't. BitRefill gave me a $20 gift card to try them. So I'm going to check out BitRefill, which has been around a long time as well. And you get Bitcoin rewards back for buying gift cards there. This is the way people live on a Bitcoin standard. They just use their Satoshis to buy cards. Like on the Bitcoin Company, you can get a Visa card and get like 1% back to pay bills or travel or whatever. So Bitcoin Company is one of my most important sources. Fold is one. And then I'm going to lay this new one on you. And it's a big. So pay attention. Nostr. So we've all heard of Nostr. And it is the decentralized X or Twitter. So Nostr is a little bit complicated because it is decentralized, it's new, but it's growing. And you can, if you are posting good content there on a daily basis, there are people making tens of thousands of sats in a day. I'm not kidding. I don't make that much yet because my content's not that great yet, but I'm working on it because I see it. I see people getting paid for their content, getting paid for their work. And you get paid by other Nostr members. And it can be lucrative. And for the very little I've done, I mean, I've made probably 10,000 sats. And like I said, if you do good work and you push out really good content that's interesting. And what I love about it there is it's not quite the dumpster fire that Twitter is. A lot of Bitcoiners, but there's artists. It's completely open and it's for anyone. So I tend to post things over there that maybe I wouldn't post on Twitter, just because I can. And it seems like it's a little less judgmental. But if you are providing content, services, or anything, and you're not on Nostr and you're not using it on a daily basis, it's something to really look at. You can use Primal, you can use Damus on your phone, and that's for iOS. And it's good to have a browser as well. So I'm not sure what the best one is for your actual computer, but like I said, I would be giving that more time than Twitter. Now, bonus tip. Because I mentioned before, I fly American Airlines. Not only do I buy the gift card for American Airlines, I head over to AA Advantage Shopping. They usually give you airline miles in return for shopping through their website. And you could pretty much shop at any store. So I can buy a gift card, buy it through the American Airlines shopping site, and double dip. I get miles and I get Bitcoin. So that's my bonus tip. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I just ran through those pretty quickly. Oh, I didn't mention the Fountain app. I know some things have changed over there, and I'll be honest, it was a little bit glitchy, and I was having a hard time finding podcasts. So sometimes when that happens, you kind of find yourself not going back to it. So I am going to investigate and see what changes have been made there and see if it's gotten better. But if you're listening to podcasts, you can get Bitcoin back. You can tip in Bitcoin, the show. There's just the possibilities are endless. Nostr now has apps too, where you can do your video podcast right on there. There's just so many things. We need to talk to Rockstar.
Well, I went to Slice. I got looks like I got 9,000 sats in there, so I was using it at one time. So I need to reinvestigate that. I don't know why I'm not seeing it anymore. But I have a couple questions about Slice and about Fountain. And we're going to come back after this break and go over those with Mel, our expert on free Bitcoin. Right back after this message. And welcome back to the Bitcoin Boomer Show. We're talking about free Bitcoin today, guys. Free Bitcoin with our free Bitcoin expert, Mel Sands. Mel, welcome back. Now tell me, I've used Fountain, and I advertised on Fountain for BitBlock Boom. For those who don't know, that's the conference I host. But I've never used Slice. Now, okay. I was not very happy with my results from Fountain. And I'm scared I might be the same way with Slice, because I'm thinking most of the people you're saying are all Bitcoiners. I think most of them probably know about my conference already.
Maybe.
Yeah, so maybe. But Fountain I didn't have good results with. If I had good results, I would have renewed, and done another month.
What the numbers are, and like I said,
it was so long ago that I don't know. But it was.
I was just having a little bit of trouble, and it was lagging at times, or it was slow, or I don't know. And I didn't stick with it. So
like I said, I didn't renew my advertising for sure.
Yeah.
So, but you think, what do you think? You think I might have better effect with Slice?
You might. You just might. There's certainly enough people using it. I don't know what the numbers are on Fountain, but I was actually, I was on the Slice website this morning, updating some things and making sure my browser stuff was active. And they have let me look. They have a Discord group, and it has a lot of people in it. So I was pretty interested in that. Like, So I tried to join it, but I'm having a little bit of trouble. It's my computer, I'm sure. But yeah, they have 63,612 members.
Discord group.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot in the Discord group.
Just in your Discord group. Yeah.
Well,
So
I need to contact them about that. Do you know if you pay for that ad as an advertiser when people click on it or when they see it?
I'm not sure. It's a good question.
Yeah, because if they already know about BitBlock Boom, they probably aren't going to click on it, and it's not going to cost me anything.
Maybe. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I know I want to get in touch with them because I was going to advertise Unconfiscatable on there, and I put some money on there, and then I never did because I didn't know how. So I need to talk to them about that because I should have a credit balance. But when I just saw their Discord group, when I tried it before, I think it was very early. I mean, it was over a year ago. So I think today might be different. And there's also other things you can do on here. You can watch videos and get rewards. You can take surveys. You can do all kinds of things to get free Bitcoin. Otherwise, you don't have to do any of that, and you just use it as your browser or as a browser tab. It's in there, and you're just going to earn Bitcoin. And like your ads are going to come from Slice as opposed to other places.
Well, I'm definitely going to check that out. Hey, while we're at this point of the show, because we don't have much time left with you. Tell us about Unconfiscatable, because I know you're real involved with Unconfiscatable. Tone has run a great conference in the past, and I know he's changing it up a little bit.
Yes. So Unconfiscatable this year is going to focus in on the fun stuff, like the carnivory dinner and the poker game and the Scammy Awards. And it's going to be more about networking. And, one thing, I thought Nashville was incredible, but I did not get a chance to talk to anybody. It was so crazy and so many people that it was like I'd see somebody and hug them and say hi, but it was just so busy that I never got any one-on-one time with people. So that's the point of Unconfiscatable in September. It's September 16th through the 19th. It's more about hanging out with your Bitcoin friends, mingling, and networking, which I think is really needed. And sometimes we just don't have enough time at the conferences. Your time is booked up solid. So it's hard to kind of veer into meeting new people or things like that. So that's the goal. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting.
Well, I have always enjoyed Unconfiscatable. I think I've been, the last 3 or I don't know how many years, maybe 4 years. I think the first year I went was when Trace Mayer was kind of crucified there. Yeah.
I found those tiny pieces of paper. They looked like fortune cookie messages.
Yes, I saw one of those that American Hodl posted, I think, on Twitter.
It's probably worth a few free sats today if you could find one.
Yeah. I bet you're right. I bet you they would be worth a few sats if you could find one of those. Well, gosh, this has been a very enlightening. Because of this conversation, I'm going to go back in and look at my fold. I've actually lost my fold card, so maybe I need to get a new one. And I need to start doing it using it more as a bank account, which I've done. I asked the other day how I find the stock even, so the stock is already out, so.
Until I did see it might be FLD or FMD. Well, I did see it.
Well, I'm kind of confused on it, to be honest with you, because Will told me, I asked Will, and I said, where's the stock at? And he gave me the ticker symbol, FLD. But that ticker symbol is FTAC Emerald Acquisition Corp.
Well, it's a SPAC.
Okay, it's 10.98, or it was $10.98 the other day. I was surprised it was that high. I mean, just coming out.
I wouldn't touch it until it becomes full.
Yeah.
So basically what they do, it's
a SPAC. I didn't know that was a SPAC.
Right. It's a company that's already public, and they use it as a shell to go public faster.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of the new thing.
Hey, tell us, Is there anything you want to promote while you're here? You got about 3 minutes left. Anything going on you want to promote? Make sure people know about. If not, tell people how they can follow you and stuff so we don't miss that out at the end and run out of time. So let's get all that covered.
Girls_Bitcoin. I'm on Twitter. That's where the free sats guide is. Will be pinned to my profile, and I'm going to update some of the things I'm talking about here today and make sure it's up to date. And it gives you plenty of things to try out. And let's see, Unconfiscatable is coming September 16th through the 19th. You can get all the info at the website right there, unconfiscatable.com. And, just remember, it's not going to be it's kind of going to be I don't want to say unconference because I know there's an actual unconference, but it's like we're going to do the fun stuff without the conference stuff, but it will still be a networking and hanging out with your Bitcoin people. And it might be one of the funnest things we do this year.
Well, last year, you were working so much that you missed it. About 20 of us went on Fremont Street and zip-lined down that entire street. And it doesn't sound that exciting zip-lining over a couple of city blocks. But on that street, it's kind of exciting with the holographic stuff above you, or the scenes. It was really pretty exciting and pretty fun to do. And I'm sorry you missed that. I loved
the video and pictures of that. Was one of the highlights, just to see everybody together kind of in a group and doing something like that. Again, this is how you build friendships and you build relationships with people who have the same values as you and are into Bitcoin like us.
We were all dressed like slobs except Miss El Salvador, being Miss World or whatever. She comes out and she's all fancy dressed with a coat with collar, and I'm going, kind of overdressed for zip lining. But she managed.
I was wearing this exact staff T-shirt the entire time.
Yeah. Well, she was overdressed for zip lining, but she handled it anyway. So it was a group of people of all different kinds we had together for the zip lining. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, I just said I want to go zip lining. I've been wanting to do that for 3 years, and I haven't done it yet. And everybody's like, "I'm in." Well, Mel,
I know during the poker tournament this year is going to be at the Nerd, which is there's bowling and there's all kinds of things to do there. And so when guys play poker, if you don't play poker, you can bowl. You can, again, hang out with just your people and your group and do what you wish.
Well, it sounds great. Mel, I do appreciate you coming on the show and sharing free Bitcoin. What you'll have to do is when you find out something new in the future about free Bitcoin, we'll bring you on maybe even if it's during another show for a segment to update us on how to get free Bitcoin.
Awesome.
We could have Mel's free Bitcoin section. So thank you very much, Mel. I look forward to seeing you soon. I don't know if I'm going to Vegas or not because we're traveling so much, but I know I'm going to see you somewhere soon. So as always, thanks. And everybody else, we'll be right back after this word from our sponsor. And welcome back to the Bitcoin Boomer Show. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. As I say over and over, we're just here to educate you about Bitcoin. That's what we're hoping you can get something out of this and that you learn something and you're able to take advantage of this world-changing event that's happening. Stephanie, what'd you think of today's show and our guest and about getting free Bitcoin? My great producer. Thank you, by the way, Stephanie.
You're welcome. Thank you for bringing Mel back on because you got me on the Fold card and Lolly, and I've been using both pretty consistently. It is like a dopamine, serotonin, whatever hormones happening rush whenever you get those sats and they're free. I didn't know about being able to get 5%-ish back if you use it for bills, the Fold card. So I'm going to have to think about rent for that purpose.
Especially on rent, because that's a big ticket item. So, I mean, we're talking real money there.
Exactly. So I need to maximize my sats acquisition strategy.
Well, and if Bitcoin does what many of us think it's going to do, someday, 10 years from now, you'll be writing me a letter from the beach in Hawaii. Going, hey, thanks. I want to see what I did with my sats.
So Gary, guess what?
Well, thanks. That's a great idea. I hope you can figure that out. Hey, everybody, like I said, thanks for watching. I do want to make sure you know about a few things, though. First of all is BitBlock Boom. BitBlock Boom is a great Bitcoin conference I do in April in Dallas, Texas. And this is our 8th year, which makes us the oldest Bitcoin conference that there is. So do check out bitblockboom.com, and I hope we see you there in April. Also check out our meetup. We do a meetup every month in Dallas, usually at a barbecue restaurant. Check meetup.com/bitblockboom. During the summer months, we hold it at a barbecue restaurant. During the winter months, we hold it at an indoor car storage facility that's real neat with lots and lots of cars. So do check out meetup.com/bitblockboom. Also want to make sure you know about the book that I co-wrote, Bitcoin and the American Dream. This is a great book for anyone who's trying to learn about Bitcoin. You can read it on a flight. If you're flying from Dallas to California or Dallas to New York or wherever, you probably can read this book on the flight. It's not really super thick. It gets to the point. So do check out Bitcoin and the American Dream. You can also follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm normally at. So if you want to track me down, you want to send me a message, you want to follow me, go to twitter.com/Gary Leland. So until next week's show, I want to say thank you for watching. As I said earlier, share this show with your friends, and don't forget to stack those sats. See you later.